Okay. I'm a bit unwell. But don't worry, you won't get the germs through the screen. um, so my voice is a little bit bleh, but I wanted to talk anyway about spirit guides because I made a video on it before and I just wanted to continue the video because I just love talking about it. And it's not so much of an information video, this one, as the other one that I posted before, but it's more about me talking about like my knowledge and experience from spirit guides. So I wanted to talk about who my spirit guides are because I had a reading done. I could probably channel more information, but sorry, I'm just looking. There's like a third guide that's coming through. So I can channel the information and like know more about my guides, but I had a reading done because I don't really trust my gifts or my intuition enough to completely go with what I get, with the messages that I get. I find it easier to believe other people when they tell me information about my guides. So I had a reading done. My reading was done by Jenny from Starseed Academy. She is a psychic. Like she channeled my spirit team, and my guides are. Turns out I have like multiple. There was like a few different ones. There is a. There's a couple. I want to talk about who they are. So, we've got one guide who is her. She wants me to call her. So names have like a vibrational match. Her real name isn't this, but this is what she wants me to call her because it's a vibrational match to our relationship. So the first guide that came through in this reading was Grandma Pearl. She wanted me to call her Grandmother Pearl, as in pearls, as in like the necklace, because that's the frequency of which she kind of is to me. We actually had a life together, probably multiple. I'm thinking multiple, but the most recent life and the most significant life that we've had together was when I had a lifetime on Venus. It was in 7D, so the seventh density, so it was much different to this reality. And Venus is a beautiful place. So it was a really high vibrational life, a lifetime, and it was longer than an Earth life. So more than 100 years, linear time wise at least. And Grandma Pearl is one of my main guides. So I have, I think, 3 main guides, and she's one of them. So there's another one coming through. So she was my grandma. Not Rose, sorry. Grandma Pearl was my, Grandma Pearl was my, sorry, my brain is not working. Grandmother, or that sort of energy in that life, if that makes sense, on Venus. So she's one of my guides. She's actually here to help me with love and relationships, and karmic relationships and getting through those. So she's helping me learn lessons of love with partners and romantic love, and familial love as well. She's helping me with that too. There's also another guide that's come in quite strongly now, who's just, I said her name before, Rose. She is not, she wasn't my mom in a part, or maybe, I'm not quite sure. Let me just ask. I was asking her if if she was my mum in a past life. Yes. Okay. Yes, she was. So she was a mother in my past life. She's a Lyran, like a feline being, um, which is awesome because I love cats. She's like a lion, so I'm imagining her as like a feline being, like a lion, standing on 2 feet, like a human. Quite a long body, a very feline, beautiful face, big eyes, like big hazel, no, amber eyes, and skin covered in fur. Um, she she's got a very beautiful energy, and again, rose is just more of a descriptive word of the vibration that she is, more than her actual real name. She has another name. um, she's saying that she has another name, but it's not in English. It's hard to pronounce because they use a lot of sounds with their, because they're lions and tigers and cats, so they the way they speak is very different to us. But so I don't know. She's not giving me a name right now. Either way, I'm not even going to try and say it. But her vibrational name to me, to humanity, is Rose. She was my mum in a past life where I grew up recently. It was one of the recent lives, where she played the role of the mother. I was the role of the daughter or the son. I was a role, daughter or son? Daughter. Yeah. So I was a role of the daughter. And I grew up with, funnily enough, I grew up with this guy who was my best friend, who was, we grew up together. We were like childhood best friends, and we grew up together. But we weren't brother and sister, but we were pretty much. And that's another one of my guides. His name's Zion, and he's one of my main guides as well. He helps me with my purpose, with speaking up for myself. He helps me with, he protects me. He helps me learn the lessons of relationships as well in different ways. But he's very much helping me connect to the part of my soul that is all about communication, using my voice, initiating change, being honest, being fiercely truthful, cutting through the bullshit, like just being fiercely honest with myself and with the world and with everyone about who I am, about what I have to share, my gifts, my opinions, my beliefs, and the things that can change the world, really. He's very much devoted to helping me with my like journey in how I express myself and the truth that comes through me, and my soul. So his mission is to help me with my mission in terms of how I communicate with this world and how I share myself with this world and my soul truth. And he's there to point me in the direction of sharing my voice, my true voice, and again, the truth of what my soul is come here to share, and to how to influence the world in a positive way. So that's Zion. I grew up with him in a past life, so I feel very close to him when I connect with him. Honestly, every time that I've met with my guides in different realms, he's always like the first one to come to me. At least lately, like the last few times, he has been very, very known. Like, he wants me to know that he's there, which I'm really grateful for, by the way. And it's nice to have a man on my team. Like, it's nice to have a male perspective, even though that was a past life that we had together, but that's how he's showing up, He's showing up as that version because he knows me. He knows my soul because we grew up together. He knows that child version of me. He knows he knows what I've grown into. He knows my potential of what I've been in a past life. So he knows what I can be in this life. That's why he's a really good guide for me. Because he knows my soul better than I do at this level of consciousness that I'm at. So he's here to steer me in the right direction, especially in terms of self-expression, self-direction, purpose, and speaking my truth and speaking up for myself, speaking up for those in need. He's saying as well, protecting others and helping others. So he's probably been behind a lot of the times when I've been the messenger of information and truth. Like he's been the one guiding me to do that. So yeah, I'm really grateful for him. He helps me with the stuff that I find the hardest, in terms of like the fire, because I have a lot of fire energy, but I also have a lot of fear that comes with that fire energy. And I tend to like go too hard on the fire or like not hard enough. So I can be like brutally honest and like harsh, or I can be like too passive and too like held back. And like he's trying to help me find my way to being the good balance between both of asserting myself, protecting myself, speaking up for myself and others, and just being that fierce self that he knows me to be. What's funny as well is that we were both hybrids. So we were hybrid. So he is a hybrid Lyran, so like the feline beings, and Pleiadian. So Lyrans and Pleiadians together are a very unstoppable force, because it mixes like the fierceness of Lyrans and the feline beings, like the fierce like warrior protector like fierceness of their race, of their collective. That's that energy mixed with the beautiful self-expression and freedom and love and light and inspiration and upliftment of the Pleiadians. So it's like a mixture of both, and it's such a beautiful thing, because it's like that means my soul is like has the ability to create change, fierce change, and act with fierceness and warrior like behavior, but for love and light, but for serving the light with the passion and the inspiration in my heart to create a better world, to facilitate the new earth, to help people cut through their bullshit, help the world to stop avoiding its problems, so I love that mixture of the Lyran Pleiadian mix, because we both grew up together as the same hybrid. We weren't related, but we were like this. My dad was, in that lifetime, my dad was he was like what was it? A captain of a spaceship. So he was one of the captains. So my dad in that life was one of the captains of one of the ships that helped the Lyrans escape and flee from the wars that were happening on Lyra. So there was like wars that happened way back when, from this timeline, but basically a lot of wars happened. The reptilians came and they were like fighting with the Lyrans, and the Lyrans, there was like the Lyrans survived, but there was a lot of death and destruction and a lot of trauma and a lot of loss. So he was one of the people that helped them come over from Lyra to the Pleiades. So a lot of Lyrans escaped to the Pleiades, and apparently my dad in that life was one of the people who, I can't remember if he was one of the people that one of the people who drove the ships, or if he was one of the kids that survived. I think it was that. I think he was one of the kids that survived. And then he met a Pleiadian woman, and then they had baby. Wait, no, that's not right. No, okay. So, okay, I'm getting information from them. I guess the specifics aren't that important, but I'm getting information that no, my mother was the Lyran, and my father was the Pleiadian. So my mother was the one that came. Yeah, my mother was the one that came through Rose. She was the one that came through. Okay, yeah. She was saved, so she survived the war, met a Pleiadian, grew up, met a Pleiadian, and then had babies. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. So, they're saying it's not important to focus on the details. But anyway, point is, so there's Rose, one of my guides, Zion, another one of my guides, Grandmother Pearl, who's also one of my guides. And then there's a couple of angels as well. But I want to talk a little bit about Grandmother Pearl, because Grandmother Pearl. Oh no, wait, Rose wants to say something. So Rose, she's here to help me, similar to Zion, but from a different perspective. She knows my soul. She knows what I'm capable of. She knows what is true to who I am. She knows who I am on the inside, on the deep down, So she actually is signed up to help me, to guide me towards that, but in a different way. I'm feeling like it's more of an intimate way. It's not so much how I show up in the world with Zion as it is about more showing up within myself, to knowing who I am, the journey of learning who I am. So she wants to help me with that. And she's saying the beautiful process of discovering yourself. That's what she's saying. So that's her role for me. She's helping me discover myself, and I think that's so beautiful. But in a gentle way. She's helping me with my lessons of self-love. She's helping me with reparenting myself. She's helping me just to love myself and to see myself as worthy of love. So that's really beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, I love that. Yeah, she's here to help me. Like, it's the thing is about your guides, and this is the same for everyone. Our guides are people we've known, are souls that we've known in past lives that know our potential because they've seen it. Like, they've seen us actualize our potential in past lives. And that's why they are here supporting us, because they know us better than we human know ourselves, from a human perspective. So they're here to point us in that direction. Because if we came onto this earth and we knew who we were already, we just would be who we are. We would have no reason to act out of alignment. We would not we wouldn't even be confused or like struggle at all, because we would be completely understanding of who we are. But we've forgotten for a reason, and they're here to help us steer us back to who we are. And so that's just what I wanted to share a little bit about my guides, my three main ones. We also all have spirit councils, but I like to focus on working personally with my guides. But as a collective, like, I don't always know who the main guide is and who's talking. Like, I don't really know who's talking a lot of the time, but I don't really pay attention to that. I just pay attention to like the guidance. But I'm always open to receiving information. I'm always I'm becoming now more open to like accepting new information and accepting information that goes against what I thought it was, which is good because it's good to be open-minded. And I think one of my guides is teaching me. Let me ask who's teaching me to be more open-minded. It's Rose, actually. Yeah, she's teaching me. It's like she's very graceful. Like that's what I can feel from her. Like she has this energy of grace, and it's like she's saying like we can do this gently. It doesn't have to be a really dark and scraping and like difficult process. It can be a beautiful process, like an unfolding of a rose. It doesn't need to be painful. Well, it can be painful, but it doesn't need to be like cause you a lot of suffering in order to learn who you are. You don't have to choose the difficult path, and that's what she wants me to know, which is really beautiful. So I don't know. I just wanted to share this because maybe it will spark some curiosity, and also it's just something I really like to share because I love talking about it, and I love talking about it to people, and I don't really feel comfortable talking about it to people that I have in my life at the moment, because I'm usually the one that's doing the listening, not so much the sharing. So I like to come on here and share because I feel like I get listened to, and people with open minds are attracted to me and to my channel and things that I share. So I like to be able to share that. So I appreciate if anyone's watching that, whoever is watching, I appreciate you listening because I think it's important that we all get listened to and all feel like we're heard, you know. So if you do, that's like a good idea. If you feel like you're in the same boat as me, like you're always like the listener, or you feel like you're the counselor or the person who's always helping people by listening to them and receiving them, but not receiving so much yourself, not being received, I mean, then maybe it would be a good idea to start a channel or a podcast or something where you can just share, because there will be people that want to receive that, you know, on the other side. And it's nice to feel received. It's nice to be received and to be able to talk about the things that you love or that you want to really, really talk about, but you don't feel comfortable talking about it with the people in your life. Not everyone has people around them that they can talk about their passions with, that share their, you know, innermost thoughts with, and these kind of things that maybe are a little bit outside of the box or not normal, you know, like, or even weird or like spiritual or woo-woo, like whatever. I think it's really helpful to have that. So I guess that's why I'm sharing this stuff. And I also think like it's really fun. I like talking about it, and I like not feeling judged. Like I feel good because I know that like with the algorithm and like the way that the universe works, of course the people who are meant to find this video will. And same with you, if you were to make a video or a podcast, the people that find it are going to be the people that are, you know, are on the receiving end of it, and that means you get to be received, and that you get to share something about what you care about or what you're passionate about or what you're learning, or, you know. So yeah, I think what goes around comes around. So the right people will find you if you put yourself out there, I think. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time, next video.